Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Monday, March 20th Board of Assessors meeting for Stockbridge. Mike, what's up?
Okay, so we're still waiting for Doug, but we're going to start anyway, because we will be going into, we're going to have to go into executive session. There are two members here. So number one, last meeting minutes. The only thing I did not carry over was, and we will be discussing it for the final vote, is the changes to the exemptions, which we've talked about, because that has to be ready for the warrant if there's going to be any changes to the amounts. I'm still waiting for town council to get back to me on what would happen if we try to change the 41C, which is the elderly, to a higher amount, what that would do to the cost of living adjustments that we're making. But I don't want to get into too much detail about that because it's not on the agenda. That will be carried over on the first meeting of April. Number two, deed and map changes for fiscal year 24. Those were sent out over a week ago, and I did hear back from Cartographic, and they did receive our deeds. They did receive our map changes. They did indicate that we're probably maybe one of the few that actually still send all of our deeds to them. We could actually save some money on our contract each year if we just send our map changes, because the only thing that the deed sending the deeds does is creates this green bar report that they send us every year with all the changes. It's basically doing the same thing that I do on the computer. So we could save up to about $400 if we don't send them the deeds anymore. And I'm always afraid to send them anyway because they have all my notes on them and everything, and just in case something happens in the mail. So I think going forward next year for fiscal year 25, we just send them the necessities, the map changes, the plans, and the easements at this point, and any chapter changes too should probably be sent in and save ourselves some money on the contract. So we'll probably end up getting the changes back from them, I would think, hopefully in April. Number three, the 3 ABC forms and for fiscal year 24 and the form of list for fiscal year 24 were all due on March 1st. We do have at least three ABC forms that have not been returned, which I have email addresses, phone numbers. I will be contacting them because they didn't ask for an extension either. They should have at least asked for an extension going forward. Number four, we did finally get back remember we talked about the Redway property, there was a change in their chapter.
Yeah.
But they didn't send, they were adding 1 acre to be certified, which means that's going to trigger a new lien to be recorded. But they never sent us the certificate for chapter 61, 61A, 61B forest lands renewal, which you signed, Gary.
Right.
So they finally have those ready, and there's 3 copies. Yeah, well, there's 2. That's good enough. If you want to sign those.
Yeah.
So do you need to have the certificate when you're doing the new lien?
The chairman should sign off on it. Mm-hmm. Yep. Because that acknowledges also that because we got a cover letter that went with it, and he's stating back to us that he understands that there will be an additional charge for a new lien. It was one of those things like, oh, it looks exactly the same, but then I realized you actually added an acreage out of what was excluded. And even at that point, I don't think he was aware of it. So they're aware of it now.
Hey, Doug.
Hi, Doug.
So when we charge, are we up to date, like with the amount of money being, like in some cases, like on planning board, we we raised the fees because they were too low, and it was actually costing us money to,
Oh, you mean for recording and
Yeah.
stuff? That's all determined by the registry.
Okay.
And I still think it's $75.
I just sent an email and asked the other day because I've got two ready to go.
I'm pretty sure it's between $75 and $100 for that. They did change those because the CPA funds are determined also by the fees.
Right.
So I know they did increase those when the CPA, when more communities started getting the Community Preservation Act. So that is when the fees, when I started, I believe these were $25 to record. So, but he's aware of that and he's fine with whatever it's gonna cost to record that. And that's the only one that we had for this fiscal year that needed a change. All the rest of them are in. I mean, you'll send out the CL1, we'll send out the CL1 forms in the fall and see if there's any more changes, but this is from last year. Doug, you want me to just backtrack a little bit? Okay. Because it's pretty quick. We have more to go over in executive session. Now this isn't on the agenda, but it's just a notice that I wanted to tell you. The Berkshire County Assessors Association spring meeting is Thursday, April 27th, and we have the agenda. It's going to be at the Granite Country Club. Tammy and I will probably be going. If you guys want to go, just mention it to us. There's going to be Joe Barberi, who is our rep from the DOR, is going to be there talking about the coding for the sales analysis for the LA3 with a question and answer session. And then in the afternoon, William Mitchell from the North Andover Assessors office is going to be talking about knowing your ABCs, about 3 ABCs. That might be really interesting. And then there's going to be a lunch and a roundtable discussion. So if you guys want if you want to get back to me on that. They didn't say if there's going to be any credits given, but usually if the state's there talking, there'll be probably at least a few. I'm good for 2 more years. Got my credits in already.
Let me see that. Thank you.
Oh, I did not put that on the agenda about the exemptions. Oh, I did. Number 5. I'm sorry. Oh my God, it's Monday. Oops. So Tom and Peter, number 5, update on the tax exemption pilot program. Is there anything to add?
Sure. We're in the process of doing the interviews, following up on the questionnaires that we've sent out. We sent out the first round of questionnaires. We've now done 2 interviews, Zoom calls with the CEOs of 2 different organizations. And I think we've found them to be quite informative. And we're going to continue with that. In fact, I think the Zoom interviews are going so well so far that it may preclude our needing to have in-person meetings later on. And I'm thinking also in terms of trying to wrap up our report. We had hoped to do it in time for town meeting. I frankly think we might be behind that schedule, but I certainly hope we can have everything done by July 1st, which will, as everybody knows, will be the end of my term on the Board of Assessors. But I am committed to seeing this project through. I've been helped enormously, I have to say, by Peter as co-chair, and I'm very grateful to him for all the time he's put in, for the good feedback and his participation in the interviews. Do you want to add anything, Peter?
Well, only that the conversations we've had have been with organizations that in the past have contributed and contributed generously. And it may be that for organizations that have not been participants in that way in the past, a bit more goosing will be required to get them responsive.
So, yeah, we started off with people that we've already established a good rapport with, and we'll just talk with as many people as we can to get the maximum input.
Thank you both very much.
Thank you.
You guys have got a lot to do in private. I know. I'm going to leave you at this point and see to the needs of a puppy that's been lapping at my feet for a while.
Okay,
Bye, Peter.
thanks.
See you, Peter.
Enjoy.
So long, Peter.
Okay, then,
Are you going into executive session?
we will be, yeah.
Okay. I just want to grab your signature and hopefully I'll turn these in this morning and be done.
Is there any questions or comments from the audience?
It's the only one. I got Gary.
Gary. Good luck, Brandon.
Have a good day.
Yeah.
Bye, Brandy.
Bye, Randy, talk to you after.
Okay, so I guess with that said, is there anything else that we need to do in public before we go into executive session?
Nope.
Okay, so at this point, I would entertain a vote to go into executive session per Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A7, to discuss and review the fiscal year 23 personal and real estate abatements for the following tax bill numbers: number 1461, number 49, number 412, 507, 771, 1131, 1334, 1555, 1849, and 2876. And also to discuss the property tax exempt status for two properties. And when we're finished with the executive session, we will not return to the public forum. And so with that said, I would entertain a motion to end our public session and enter into executive session.
Yeah, is Tom staying for executives?
Are you staying for the executive, Tom?
I can do that.
I think,
Why don't
But we have to call you.
We'll have to call you, that's all. Or you can call,
I could call Doug's cell phone. the way
Yeah.
I have in the past. And
If you guys, if I can interrupt here, I can stop recording and you guys can do what you want.
that'd be better.
Right here if you want.
great.
I'll just stop recording. So end it officially and then I'll stop recording and I can just let you guys do your thing.
All right,
Oh,
perfect.
thanks a lot.
So I make that motion?
Is there a second? Tom? He's frozen.
Oh, no.
Well, I'll second it.
There you go. He's back.
Okay. So it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, Gary, aye.
Hi, Doug.
Aye,
Tom.
aye, Tom.
All right, so moved. Thank you all.